welcome to the first exciting episode of DIA, or Dudes in Asia. This is David Hayter.
And this is David Nguyen, aka Noogie.
In our first episode, we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves, like who we are, why we came out here to Asia, and then we'll talk about, living life in another country and some current events that are going on. So with that, I believe I'm up for the first interview, so go ahead and hit me with your questions.
Current about yourself, man, like where you from and where you grew up.
Okay. Well, yeah, man, like I said, my name is David. I'm born and raised Long Beach, California. I feel like, there might have been better places to be born, but there's definitely worse places to be born. It was very cool, We had like a lot of different people in the community. It was very diverse, and you get exposed to a lot of cultures, a lot of different ideas, So, yep. That's about it for that one.
What's your educational background that kind of led you to come out to Asia?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I've always kind of been interested in other cultures, and I think when I was in junior high school, like my best subjects were foreign languages and history, and American history was always like pretty cool to me, but I always kind of gravitated more towards like international history, especially like Japan, all the samurais, like ninjas, martial arts, all that type of stuff, and so when I was older and I went back to college, I studied Spanish in high school. And then, after high school, I didn't go directly to college, and I wanted to do international studies. And they're like, hey, man, you got to study a foreign language. I was like, well, I'm not going to jump back in Spanish. I was like, I guess I'll just pick up Japanese, kind of get better at that, And then, yeah, I did study abroad, studied Japanese history, came out here, thought it was cool, figured I'd come back, give a shot living here.
Oh, during high school, you didn't really. This wasn't really part of your plan during high school days, right?
Not really too concrete, man. Like I always kind of heard about the JET program, and then when we were in high school, we took the Japanese class with Mr. Filippo. He was cool, and people talk about how he did, the JET program. It's like, oh, he taught in Japan, that's why he can speak Japanese. I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll give that a shot. You know what I mean?
In the JET program?
Yeah, Mr. Filippo. Yeah, I think he was an ALT, dude. Like he taught out here before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. So pretty cool. You know what I mean? I'm getting notifications over here from something I forgot to close. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Okay, I just took care of that. Anyway, yeah. I think he was in the JET program, And so if you think about the way he taught, that kind of explains like why he taught the way he did, Like a lot of his stuff was very fun, easy to do, like pretty chill,
Now, so how long have you been in Asia or Japan, to be specific?
Yeah. This is my 5th year, living out here. I came back in August of 2014, So, yeah, it's been pretty cool, I don't stay like in a big city. I'm out here in the main streets of Yokkaichi doing it big. But yeah, man, I don't know, like it goes by pretty fast, I'm sure you kind of feel the same way, like you go somewhere to try it out and pretty soon, 1 year. Yeah, 1 year rolls into another.
Word.
Yep.
So you're pretty happy with the way things are right now, right?
I think so, I mean, I can't complain too much, I'm an English teacher out here, and it does pose its own set of challenges. A lot of people come to Japan with the idea that, they're going to be like an English teacher. They're going to be able to teach English the way they want. They're going to be able to do everything the way that they've learned to do it. But then, reality kind of kicks in, and you got all these tests that the kids have to pass, and, not everybody wants to learn English and speak it, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, just like there aren't that many opportunities for advancement as well. So that's why, it's good for now, but I don't know, long term, it's kind of, I don't know, it's up in the air at this point.
The show, man. Nice background, hater.
Thank you. Yeah, that's how I roll. So, what do you think, man? You think we should flip it around? Maybe I'll ask you a few questions. So, why don't we go ahead and open up with the first ones? And you already said your name before. Go ahead and say it again if you want. If you don't say it, I will take it as a sign of disrespect. And where are you from? And where did you grow up?
So, my name is David Nguyen, like I said, aka Niggy. I was born in Milwaukee, but I left that area and then pretty much was and grew up in Long Beach,
Mm,
home of the G Funk.
that's right.
So yeah, awesome city, like Hader said. Um, very diverse. So we grew up, just got to friends from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different beliefs. So how to view the world.
Mm,
So yeah, I think we're very fortunate to grow up there.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. So, yeah, how was it for you? Like, going to school and stuff as a teenager, like going to college and all that. Like, did you know that? I don't know. I can't exactly remember. Like, was that your goal, like, for going back to school, like, to make it out to Vietnam, or were you kind of going on another path?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, yeah, no problem, dude. So, the question was like, because you went to like high school, and then later went back to like Long Beach City College. So, was your goal like, when you're in college to come out to Vietnam, or were you kind of pursuing a different path?
um, to be honest, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Never had a vision of what I was going to do next. Um, even when I went to high school, then went back to school, I was still trying to discover myself. I was taking um, oh my god, culinary.
Oh, okay.
Like yeah, so I just started just going back to school for the sake of going back to school, but wasn't too sure what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I actually went to Vietnam the first time, my mind towards like, hey, dude, like there's some potential here,
Mm-hmm.
opportunity here to kind of make some things happen because America is so developed and has everything that
Yeah.
and some things that weren't available to the people here that was worth investing my time to possibly create.
Mm-hmm.
After several trips, though, that's when opened my eyes to to go into international business and marketing to possibly pursue that. And so yeah, but it was like the first high school and the first couple of years of Long Beach City College is just going with the wind, but there was no destination or goal at all.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, and and that's one thing I always kind of say too, like a lot of the kids out here in Japan, I'm like, what do you want to be in the future? It's like straight out of the textbook. And they're just like, I have no dream. I'm like, oh man, that's kind of sad. I'm just like, well, you should just try something, because even, if you say like, I want to be a pilot and you don't become a pilot, like you're going to pick up a lot of skills on the way. It'll move you towards another goal.
Just keep moving forward one way or another
Yeah,
because you just
yeah.
never know what happens, right? I mean, like culinary, I liked food, I like cooking, I take culinary, but in that environment, I was like, dude, this is slavery, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause seriously, like, I mean, it's why you want to cook. I just wanted to cook to improve my skill, but I wasn't
Hmm.
trying to make a career where, as a line cook, putting in 16 hours a day, like that was not why I imagined. But at least I got a reality check. Like, if you want to, go full in cooking, this is the environment. And I was like, nope. Kept exploring myself and started taking philosophy, horticulture, whatever. Just but not many things lasted very long until international business and marketing actually part of the path to what I wanted to do.
Okay. For sure, man. So, let me open up to another question then. So, how's your experience been, like, actually doing business internationally, man?
Uh, Still a work in progress.
Mhm.
But living here, I still manage to see how things are done. Luckily, I've met some people who kind of just showed me what's going on. You know, from a person's perspective who actually lives here in the business they run and just how the system works. Then also working with the international person who now built a company to understand the challenges that he sees from an American perspective. Still just a lot of learning for the past 3 years,
Mhm.
but hopefully next level in the next year or yeah, next year or so to begin to branch out on my own.
Okay, for sure, man. All right, it looks like that about does it for this interview portion we got right here. So, I guess now we'll just open it up, talk about some current events and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know if you heard, man, but there's like a pretty strong typhoon that came through again this week, man.
What about that, man? Oh my God, dude.
It was like, what, it's like 2 weeks apart, basically. So,
Yeah, it's been a rough weather lately. Like I
yeah.
don't know if there was a storm that passed through Vietnam either, but
Hmm.
I was in a grab car trying to get to the bus station to go back to home in Kentucky on Wednesday,
Hmm.
and seriously, like the anything, it was pouring so hard. Like as soon as the windshield wiper like wiped, it
Yeah.
was just completely covered the next second.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Like I was like, "Are you? Can you drive? Like this is dangerous because you can't even see where you're going."
Yeah, right. It's like, well, if I
So
can't see where
flooded.
you're going, you can't see
Yeah,
where you're going.
exactly. Like it was so flooded too. Like you couldn't even like see the dividers. You just know where
Wow.
the lanes were, and you
Right.
couldn't see anything. It was just like, whoa, what's like? I've never seen that this bad.
That's
Rough like
crazy.
weather scenario. And then there's also what an earthquake that happened in Indonesia, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Earthquake and tsunami, dude. It's always like the worst
At
part, you
least
know?
yeah, at least 800 people died. So it's like, woof.
Yeah. Well, and, the
Yeah,
rescue is
rough weather.
still ongoing. So, like,
Yeah,
there's a lot
exactly,
of
exactly.
places they can't even get to. You know what I mean? So, it's like they really don't even know what the exact toll is going to be. And, like, I've heard stories too of, like, rescue workers just taking someone from their family and like they'll just go to like a body bag and zip it, be like, oh, is this like your family member? It's like, nope. It's like, all right, let's look at the next one. Is this your family member? Like, nope. Like,
So that's like the crazy part is because like Asia is growing pretty fast in the past, like I think like what, maybe 10, 20 years?
Yeah, definitely. Like it
Like
kind of started with the opening of China and stuff.
it's been like growing pretty rapidly, but poor infrastructure, you know.
Yeah, that is
Between
true.
giant slabs of
Oh.
A disaster with so many people because like a lot of people live by bodies of water
Mm-hmm.
to the beaches, and then when the thing like that happens, an earthquake or a tsunami, dude,
Yeah.
it's like it's rough. I mean, obviously, like it's still pretty bad back home, but I think it's even rougher out here because as possible, but it's not like planned out compared to like America, where there's at least some safety regulations. Over
Yeah,
here, it's just
yeah.
like, oh, we need to upgrade the tourism. Let's start, massively expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Structure's not solid, but we've got to move forward. And as you know, some things happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's like one thing too. Like when there is like an earthquake or a tsunami, like or typhoon in Japan, like if you're young, you'll probably be okay. You know what I mean? Depending on where you are. Like tsunamis, you can't do too much about, but just go up and hope that you're high enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like earthquakes, the buildings out here are pretty strong. So unless it's like a real crazy one, and like everyone always says they're waiting for the big one. Like you'll probably be okay. But like, man, it was Sunday out here when that last typhoon came through, and like all of my teachers were like, David, please stay home Sunday. I was like, I will. And they're like, what are you going to do? Like, I'll probably just watch YouTube or whatever. And they're like, yes, and please drink beer. I was like, I will do that.
Please drink beer.
Yeah, so like, drink beer, stay home. I'm like, all right. No, they like drinking beer out here, or at least one of my
Yeah.
teachers does. But yeah, like, I was just chilling out, watching some YouTube, and then you can hear the wind coming. And when the wind blew, like it shook like the whole apartment building, man. Like it's only like 2 stories tall, but still it'd be like, like like you could feel it, dude. It was nuts.
How fast was the wind? Like,
Out here they use meters per second. I looked at some news reports. I think it was like wind gusts of over like 100 miles an hour, man. Yeah,
whoa,
yeah, it was pretty
whoa.
nuts. Yeah, yeah. So, but I don't know,
How
man.
long did it
It's
last? How long did it last?
how long did it last? I'm trying to think, man. Like it kind of came in the afternoon, and then it was like done by like the evening. But then there'd still just be like crazy wind gusts. Like I want to say, man, I can't remember. It's probably about like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know how some people do it. But like for me, when I hear there's gonna be a typhoon, like I go to the grocery store, I get enough stuff to cook for like 24 hours. I make sure I got enough alcohol. Like I take care of business. But something else too that I think that people don't really think about is like your power could go out. And then in my apartment,
Yeah.
like you cook on an electric stove. So if the power goes out, you ain't cooking nothing, you know?
That's like that's one thing I just thought about too, because
Yeah.
this past home on a Friday, and they're doing a lot of like electrical work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I could only imagine if like shit went down.
Yeah,
Like, stay home, and you have to stay home. It's like, dude, people will lose their sanity, man.
they would,
Stay
man.
home, and I can't use my internet, and I can't,
Hmm.
watch TV.
Yeah.
People just like would not know how to react.
Yeah, man. And then like that's like hoping that like, internet still works like over the airwaves, like in a real
Yeah, hope
disaster. One thing
most
that's
likely it will, but
cool.
still.
Yeah. Well, like I know like back in America, like if there was an earthquake, like all the phone lines would go down like immediately after because everybody is calling everybody.
Yeah,
But then too, I think that like I know Japan for sure has like better like cell phone, like over the, what would you say, interwebs in the air. Like they have better infrastructure for like 4G like signals for your
yeah.
phone. Probably Vietnam too, at least for what you pay, you know what I mean? Yeah. But one thing I picked up though is like one of those portable like flashlights, and it actually has like a crank on it and like a solar panel, and like you could charge USB stuff off of it.
That costs you.
Oh, this is cheap, dude. I got off of Amazon out here like less than like 20 bucks, you know what I mean?
I have a wind up flashlight, but it didn't do all that.
Yeah, it's a wind up
Not a
flashlight.
solar, not a
uh,
charger.
really?
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It's a wind up flashlight. It can run off of batteries. It's got a solar panel. It's got radio like AM, FM, and I think it gets weather too. Yeah.
Invest in one. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
last week when I told you the power cut off, like I really didn't know what to do. It's like, oh, I can play video games. Wait, there's no electricity. Like, oh crap, I can't do that. Oh, I can't even look
Yeah.
at the web. Like, dude, what the like I seriously just like so I just sat there, just like kind of trying to take a nap.
Yeah, right.
But it's been a long time since I've been kind of in that situation. Because like, I'm in Saigon, so like
Uh-huh.
it's just possible of like electrical cutouts and things like that. But
Yeah. Well, and then that's like another thing too, like for me out here, I live on the second floor. I just take the stairs down. Like if you had a house, you can just like go in your backyard and do whatever. But like if you're in like a high-rise building and like the elevator don't work,
yeah,
like what are you gonna do, man? Like you gotta
yeah.
go down the stairs for a minute, like with all these other people trying to get out. Yeah, it's like crazy,
Because
dude.
like I remember, um, I think I remember I told you a while back when there was like some fires in the apartment building.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude.
so there as a safety precautionary measure, like if you went down the stairway, like they locked the door. So like if you were like going down and something happens, you couldn't access the fifth floor because it's locked.
Wow, yeah, it's
Only
crazy.
exit the bottom.
Yeah, that's nuts,
Fire
man.
hazard. So like if the fire was happening in the first floor and you tried to like, hey, elevator's not working, and then you
Mm-hmm.
walk into the staircase. Like, dude, you're locked in the staircase. You know,
Dang, man, that's crazy, dude.
they had like a fire. Someone pulled the fire alarm like one night, like at midnight.
That
You know,
sucks, dude.
and but that was the exact problem. People were like, dude, like if I take the stairway and I can't, if it's too crowded, I can't just walk out the fifth floor. They began to unlock the door. So I was like, oh, thank God. You
Yeah, man.
know?
Yeah, that's too crazy,
Actually, a
man.
real drill. It was like a real drill. It's like, dude, this is not safe.
Yeah,
But someone just thought that like, no, you should only exit the bottom floor. But it's like, dude, if the bottom floor is on fire, you're kind of screwed.
yeah, yeah,
A real
for
fire drill to like make people realize like, oh wait, this is actually unsafe. It's like, dumbass.
sure.
You know.
Yeah. Hey, man, they'll learn one day, huh? Yeah.
Learned the lesson after the real fire drill happened. There was no
Mm,
fire, but it's just a drill, and it worked out.
yeah. All right, dude. Yeah, well, I think yeah, we're out of time with that one. So, yeah, looks like that'll do it for this historic first episode of Dudes in Asia. I hope you enjoyed learning more about life where we're from and how we're living. So, yeah,
Blog at whoops.
go for it, dude.
Be sure to check out our blog at dudesinasia.blogspot.jp. At Dudes in Asia, and follow us on Facebook on facebook.com/Dudes in Asia.
Peace out.